Tak payahlah. Transcript kot. Okay, Prof. Boleh kita start Prof?
Kejap, tunggu Dr. Nurul Aini. Mungkin dia tak dapat dia punya ni kot.
Dia boleh, dia available.
Dia available.
Saya ingat grup tu dah tak aktif. So I was like macam
Dia mungkin kejap nak bagi dia punya link kejap.
dah ada kan kat situ kan? Tak ada. Dah ada kan link kat situ?
Tak, saya punya WhatsApp semua sekarang ni semua hilang ni sebab saya pergi kata-kata delete all chat. Jadi sekarang ni semua grup tak ada.
Oh ya ke?
Tolong masukkan lagi tu. Ada?
Ada.
Okey.
Okay.
Okey.
Boleh. Assalamualaikum. Dr. Nurul Aini.
Nurul Aini.
Nurul Aini.
Ya.
Cahaya mataku.
Okay. So Dr. Nurul Aini dengan Dr. Nurul Aini je lah. Ya.
Dr. Jun ada bengkel.
Okay. Alright. So shall we start, Doktor? Boleh ke?
Ya, boleh. Tapi nanti kalau ada orang nak masuk, dia just kita orang boleh kita boleh admit. Saya boleh admit. Okay. Alright. Silakan.
Okay, boleh.
Bismillah. Kita mulakan dengan umul kitab Al-Fatihah. A'udzu bisyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Arrahmanirrahim. Maliki yaumiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Okay.
Alright, Assalamualaikum and good evening to all the audience. Alright, so I'm Haryati binti Muhammad Radwan. So I'm presenting for my QT, compulsory QT. So my title is Exploring Credit Assessment Practices in Peer-to-Peer Financing. So it's insight from Malaysian P2P platform operators. Okay, so this is my background of the study, the summarization. So as we know, P2P financings involve unsecured loans, all right, made directly between the individuals through the online platform. So this is eliminating the traditional financial intermediaries such as banks. Then, as we know, P2P financing has transformed the financial landscape in Malaysia as an alternative funding mechanism. So P2P financing challenges traditional banking models by facilitating direct loans between individuals and business through online platform. And then this model reduces costs and streamlines the borrowing process, benefiting the SMEs and individuals with limited access to traditional financing. All right. So rapid growth is attributed to the technological advancement, changing consumer preferences, and increased demand for alternative funding sources. So in Malaysia, the regulatory framework established by the Securities Commission of Malaysia (SM) in 2016 supports the growth of P2P platforms. So we have currently, we have 11 P2P platforms. Right. So it's licensed platforms. And as 2021, platform raised 1.94 billion to fund businesses, indicating significant market participation. So this is the importance of P2P financing. All right. So as we know, it is an alternative funding sources. So as a P2P financing, will source a capital, provide a capital for the SMEs in Malaysia, and then the small, the SMEs that may struggle, okay, to secure loans or to apply loans from the bank. Okay, as we know, due to the stringent requirements, or they just open a new business. All right. And then by facilitating access to the funding, all right, so P2P financing will support the entrepreneurship and innovation, contributing positively to Malaysia's economic landscape. All right. So these are the problem statement that I highlighted. Okay, so as we know, many SMEs or many borrowers lack of collateral, okay, and also have a poor credit history. So making the company will high risk candidates for loans, right? And then another issue is the absence of the standardized credit assessment practices, okay, complicates the evaluation of borrower creditworthiness, leading to potential losses for lenders, meaning that different platform operate P2P platform operators, they have a different credit methodology. All right. And then another issue is lead to that quite high. The default rates, okay, undermine the credibility and also the sustainability of the P2P platforms. So these are the what we call that 11 uh, the comparison that I made from the 11 P2P platform operators. So this is the minimum investment that we can invest to the P2P platform. All right. And then the fees um, for each platform. Okay. So if you see, it's quite vary. And then the average return, okay, and also the default rate. So we have I did it for 11, all of it. All right, and we can see even some of the platform also, they not stated the default rate. Okay, so my main objective for this study is I want to investigate and analyze the credit assessment methodologies used by the P2P financing platform in Malaysia. Okay, focusing on their impact on credit methodologies and also the default rates and investors' confidence. And then by utilize the empirical research, all right, this study this study will lead to development of the more robust credit assessment models. And then, of course, this study will address the existing gaps in the literature by providing a comprehensive analysis of credit assessment practice adopted by Malaysian P2P platform, and also to analyze the factors influencing default rates, okay, to provide practical recommendation for improving the P2P financing ecosystem. And lastly, to explore the perceptions of platform operators regarding the credit assessment and their implication on risk management. Okay, so these are my research questions. So the research question one is, the first research question is, what is the current state of credit assessment practices utilized by Malaysian P2P financing platform? And then the second research question is what key factors influence default rates in Malaysian P2P financing and how are these factors are calculated? And then lastly, what are the perception of P2P financing platform operator regarding the impact of non-standardization credit assessment and default rates? So these are my research objective. So to examine the credit assessment methodologies used by P2P financing platform in Malaysia, and then to identify the key factors that influencing default rates and their calculation, and then to explore the perspective of P2P financing platform operators on the implication um, of non-standardized credit assessment and default rate calculation and their impact on investors' confidence and overall industry stability. All right. So these are the significance of the study. So the study aims to enhance existing knowledge on a P2P financing within the Malaysian context and addressing gaps in the current literature. And then insight for stakeholders. So findings will provide valuable insight for various stakeholders in P2P lending ecosystem regarding the effectiveness of current credit assessment practices and areas needing for improvement, such as P2P financing or platform operators, investors, and then even the regulators. And then the research will offer practical recommendation for P2P platform operators to improve their credit assessment methodologies and promoting a greater transparency and consistency across the platform. And then this study also will inform regulator bodies such as Security Commission of Malaysia about existing gaps in credit assessment practice and default rate calculation. So aiding in the development of regulation that promote standardization and consumer protection. Then this one will be this study also is insight to help potential P2P investors make more informed decision by understanding the key factors influencing default rates and evaluating the reliability of credit assessment. And then by highlighting the areas requiring further investigation, particularly in credit risk assessment. So this research aims to contribute to financial stability within the P2P sector. And then the findings are expected to enhance the overall trustworthiness and stability of P2P financing sector in Malaysia, which is benefiting both investors and also the platform operators. So the scope of the study will investigate the credit assessment, okay, practices in P2P platform, and then we'll be examining a various methodology for assessing the borrower creditworthiness for each P2P platform, including the traditional scoring system and also the alternative data sources like machine learning. All right, and then also the research will analyze how default rates are calculated across the different platforms and identify influencing factors and inconsistency in these methodologies. The research is only limited to the Malaysian context, all right, due to the regulated environment and industry dynamic across the countries. And then this research also will be conducted by qualitative data collection obtained by interviews with the platform operators. And then the study aims to develop a standardized framework for credit assessment that combines traditional methods with innovative approaches to enhance risk evaluation process in P2P financing. So this is the chapter 2. All right, the summary as a summarization of my review of literature. Okay, so in chapter 2, I provide a comprehensive overview of the P2P financing industry, okay, highlighting the key research area and themes that have emerged in the literature. And then distinction between Islamic and conventional P2P financial models, highlighting the unique characteristic of Islamic P2P financing in Malaysia. And then I proceed to credit risk assessment. Okay, as we know, it's a crucial aspect covered in is credit assessment. And then detailing methods and tools used to evaluate borrowers and determine the credit worthiness. And then emphasis on empirical study conducted on P2P financing within the Malaysian context and identifying the existing research gap. So this is a business model for P2P financings. So as you see, this is the issuer or we call it the borrower. Okay, and then we have a P2P platform and also the investors. So basically, the issuers will request is we apply, and then the financing request to the P2P platform. Okay, and then the P2P platform will evaluate, okay, according the financing criteria, and then will source in the investors, inform the investors, right, to find for the fundings. So if you can see, the P2P platform is only what we call that is only make a profit within by the fees charged from both parties, issuers and investors only. So the P2P platform did don't take the risk, the credit risk or default risk by the issuers. It's only that the risk is held by the investors. All right. So these are the I highlight the characteristics of the conventional P2P financings. All right. So basically, P2P financings is a direct financing where funds are provided to individuals or SMEs without traditional financial intermediaries. But in the Malaysia, we only provide for SMEs, no individuals. And then it is characterized as unsecured financial model facilitated through online platform. And then P2P financing has become a widely used financial derivative globally with significant growth since the introduction of the first platform, which is Zopa in the UK, 2005. All right. Then, as we see, the transaction volumes have increased dramatically, reaching 64 billions by 2015 and projected to hit 1 trillion by 2025. Okay, so P2P platform operate exclusively online, allowing for lower overhead costs compared to traditional banks. So user can sign up as either borrower, which is issuers, or lender or investors. They call investors on P2P platform. Borrowers can list loan requests, but funding is not guaranteed. Then interest rate vary by platform. For example, Prosper is one of the P2P platform, uses an auction process where borrowers set a maximum rates and investors bid on loans. So other platforms like Smava DE determine rate based on borrower characteristics. So P2P platform provide easier access to loans with simplified application process and faster approval times. Some of the platform even offer within 24 hours. And then they cater to individuals and SMEs that may struggle with traditional bank loans, as you know, due to the strict credit requirement. And then the platform allow access for those with poor credit histories or startups, broadening the demographic eligible for funding. And then less documentation is required compared to traditional banks, leading to quicker loan approval through user-friendly online forms. So these are the characteristics. So lender can spread the investor or the lender can spread the investment across multiple borrowers to reduce the risk. And many platforms offer features for automatic portfolio diversification. And then risks are distributed among individual lenders rather than accumulated by a single institution. So this decentralization allows collective funding of loans, while at the same time mitigating the impact of individual borrowers' default. So investors can earn higher returns compared to traditional savings, but of course you face increased risk of borrower defaults. So borrowers typically encountered higher interest rate due to perceived risk associated with their profile. So while P2P financing offers significant benefit like easier access and higher potential returns, but of definitely involve risks that required for careful consideration by the investors. So the overview of next, we proceed to the overview of P2P financing in Malaysia. So the concept of P2P financing is gained traction in Malaysia in the middle of 2010s. And then in the first launch, P2P in Malaysia in 2016. So Malaysia is a pioneer in the Asian region. So legalized that P2P financing platform in 2016. So currently 11 licensed platform. Okay, and this platform has raised 1.94 billion for around 3,824 SMEs in the first 9 months of 2024. Okay, and then despite a 5.6 GDP fall in 2020, during the COVID time, Malaysian digital economy thrived, contributing over 20% to GDP. So the fintech market, dominated by online payment and e-wallet services, showcased resilience and attracted investors, fostering a digitalized economic landscape. So these are the P2P platform operator that I mentioned. Okay, so yeah, only 11. Now we move to characteristic of Islamic P2P financing. So Islamic P2P financing, of course, adheres to Islamic financial norms and also Sharia principle, which, as we know, prohibiting practices such as interest, gambling, and also excessive uncertainty. All right, so the transactions are based on risk and profit sharing rather than conventional interest-based credit models. And then financing must involve tangible goods or services, ensuring ethical and socially responsible investment. All funded projects must comply with Islamic law, so avoiding investment in prohibited industry like alcohol and gambling. And then a Sharia supervisory board oversees compliance and educates user about Sharia compliant practices. And then Islamic P2P financing emphasizes full disclosure of information to minimize transaction uncertainty and build trust among participants. So the model promotes equitable sharing of risks and rewards among all the parties involved, fostering community participation in economic growth. So basically, they are using one of these contracts. So Murabaha, as you know, cost plus financing, and then Mudarabah, profit sharing agreement, where the financier provide the capital to the SMEs. And then another one is Musyarakah, joint venture agreement, where both parties invest in the project and share profit or losses. Okay, the emphasis on ethical investing attract both Muslim and non-Muslim investors seeking the values-aligned investment opportunities. And then Islamic P2P finance also represent a unique model that combine Islamic finance principles with the decentralization nature of P2P financing, offering a viable alternative to conventional financing practice. So these are the differences that I put in the table. So it's quite easy to understand. Um, all right. Okay. So now this is the overview of P2P financing globally. So it started from the UK. Well, so Zopa is the first company, P2P platform. All right. And separate to the US. So in the US, we have one of the earlier, it is a financing club and Prosper. Then China, all right, in China. So in China, China is quite interesting because we have explosive growth by 2015. Okay, however, due to regulatory challenges and the shift from information intermediaries to a shadow banks, okay, um, led to a collapse in 2020. Okay, so weak regulatory capabilities and fierce competition play a role in this downfall of P2P financing in China. Then our nearby country, Indonesia, also witnesses a significant growth in P2P financing with platform like Dynamas, started at 2017. Okay, so their studies highlighted the positive correlation between investing intention and factors like ease of use, knowledge, and trust. Okay, however, challenges include illegal and unethical practices, emphasizing the need for regulatory improvements. So these are the review of the some of summarization of the review for the past study. So by Paul, 2014, assessing the borrower's credit worthiness is crucial, okay, for the growth of P2P financing. And then, as we know, P2P loans are often unsecured, leading lenders or issuer to seek higher returns to compensate for financial risks. And then the P2P loan market suffers from information asymmetry, benefiting borrowers and leading to adverse selection. Uh, the individuals investors struggles to allocate funds effectively among multiple loans due to difficulty in evaluating credit risk. So these are some of the past studies. Um, and also there are a few researchers studied borrower characteristics. So by the earliest one, Pope and Sidner in 2011 state that the black borrowers have lower repayment success compared to the white borrowers. So races is one of the borrowers' characteristics. And then gender. So female borrowers generally have lower default rate than male borrowers. And then trustworthy appearances correlate with lower insolvency rates. And then, maaf ya, Prof. Kejap ya, Prof. And then group borrowers shows better repayment performance than individual borrowers. So there are various studies by Lee, Tao, and Wang. They are study about developed models to predict the repayment outcome based on the borrower characteristics. And then later on by Kim and Sun, a borrower's past repayment history is a significant predictor of future loan performance. And then traditional credit scoring models often rely on quantitative data, but may not be applicable in all regions. So alternative credit risk assessment model have been development for the P2P lending market. So some of the paper, they use advanced machine learning techniques to increase for credit risk modeling in P2P financing. For example, they use random forest regression and restricted Boltzmann machine to capture complex relationship in the big data. Okay, so based on that one, based on the past study, next we proceed with the theoretical framework. So I'm using the underpin theoretical theories. I'm using is information asymmetry. As we know, information asymmetry occurs when one party possesses more relevant information than the others, so leading to potential business imbalance and misuse. So as we know, information asymmetry uh, is what we call that, Josh Akerlof, okay, who introduced this in Market of All Lemons. So Josh highlights how quality uncertainty in a business can drive high quality products out of the market due to information asymmetry. So application in financing, as we know, information asymmetry is a critical challenge in online P2P financing, particularly between the borrowers and the lenders. So it can result in adverse selection and moral hazard, impacting credit risk and leading to market failure. So various mechanisms, including the incorporation of hard and soft information, are employed to address the information asymmetry. So the next one, agency theory. So agency theory explore the interaction between principal investors and the agent, the issuers, in organization and financial setting, aiming to align their interest. So in P2P context, investors delegate funding, all right, to issuers, which is the agent, raising concern about moral hazard, adverse selection, and conflict of interest. So governance mechanism and risk management strategy are critical to address this issue and ensure the success of P2P financing platform. Then the third one is a intermediation theory. So based on this theory, financial intermediation theory explains the role of intermediaries in facilitating fund flow between saver and borrowers, managing risk and reducing the transaction costs. So Gurley and Shaw emphasize the essential role of financial intermediaries in channeling funds efficiently and diversifying risk. So in this context, for P2P financing, P2P financing platform is actually the alternative intermediaries. So it will reshape the borrowing landscape. So they play a pivotal role in matching borrowers and lenders, managing credit risk and reducing the transaction costs and addressing information asymmetry. So the evolving roles reflect changes in technology, market dynamic, and consumer behavior. And last one will be the stakeholder theory. Stakeholder theory asserts that business should consider interests of all stakeholders, not just shareholders, to achieve long-term sustainability and profitability. So in P2P financing platform, must balance the interests of borrower, lenders, and platform operators, ensuring the transparency, ethical conduct, and adherence to regulatory standard. So stakeholder theory guides P2P platform in creating value for all stakeholders and contributing to the democratization of finance. So these are my conceptual framework. So, sekejap ya, Prof. Saya siap sampai sini je. Okay, kalau ikut mana? Okay, so this is my Mm, Okay, so this is my conceptual framework. Okay, oh, uh, is the okay, all right. So as you see, the framework, this conceptual framework illustrate the interrelationship between components involved in credit assessment and default rate calculation in Malaysia in P2P financing. So as you see, these are the key component, right? The key component. Uh, So the first one, if you see, is the borrower characteristics. So the borrower characteristic is like such as a demographic factor, such as gender, age, marital status, okay, education, and then work experience, even company size, all right, and a financial history indicator, okay, such as credit score or debt to income ratios. Then we have behavior in borrower characteristics. We have the behavioral indicator, such as repayment history or loan purpose. Uh, then another key component is after the borrower characteristics. We have credit assessment methodology. Okay, so this credit assessment methodology usually we look at the traditional credit scoring models and also the alternative assessment, okay, such as machine learning algorithm or social media analysis, okay, for a better prediction. Okay, and then this borrow characteristic will influence the credit assessment. And then we have a regulatory environment and also the technology advancement. Um, So regulatory environment is a contextual factors. So regulatory environment is a government policy shape. The government policies that shape the P2P platform practices and promote this and which is promote the supposed standardization in credit assessment. And then the technological advancement is innovation, like big data analytics, okay, will improve the data collection and also the risk evaluation. So this also contextual factors that influence the credit assessment methodology. And then the default rate calculation, as you know, variability exists. Okay. Um, all right. S- So these credit assessment methodologies will determine the default rate calculation. And then, as you know, as the default rate calculation will affect the investor's confidence. So if you see, this one will be the feedback loop lah. Okay, what is feedback? The feedback loop meaning that high default rates. Okay, what happen if the default rates is high? So of definitely it can erode the investor's trust. Okay, and then what improve the credit assessment. Okay, enhance the confidence by clarifying the borrower risk. Okay, then this is my Nak stop share. Okay, so this is the research methodology. Okay, so okay, this is my research methodology. Okay, all right. Let me cut short. So, basically, using Creswell and Saunders. Okay, so Creswell defined research as inquiry process that build a holistic picture, reporting detailed view of information in natural setting. And then Sonder view research as the process of gathering, analyzing, and interpreting data to answer the questions, test hypotheses, or evaluate the outcome. Um, so this study adopt a qualitative methodology employing a semi-structured interview. uh, I'm not sure yet to do document analysis or not, but and then the methodological approach is directly influenced by ontological and epistemological philosophy. uh, I think I can skip lah. Basically, I use based on the Sonder. Okay, construct research onion. So if look at the research onion, so the one that I hide with the red square, so that is how I choose my research design. So since it's a qualitative, so it will be interpretivism, and then the research will be conduct inductive, and then this will be the case study, and then I'm using a mono method because it's only qualitative, and then it's a cross sectional, and then we collect the data collection. Okay. So, as you know, interpretivism, also known as a qualitative research, so it's a philosophical approach in the social sciences, and then emphasis on the subjective comprehension and interpretation of human experiences. So, right. Okay, so based on interpretivism, ontological, and epistemology. So this is an inductive case study, right? And then the methodology, a qualitative mono method, all right, basic qualitative, and then I conduct the in-depth interview data. Okay, so I think because of the time, I will not explain the Islamic ontology or Islamic epistemology. Um, okay, so the data collection. um, Okay, so I will use semi-structured interview. Okay, and then by using a semi-structured interview, I will use thematic analysis to analyze the data collected from the interviews, because this method allowed for the identification of patterns and themes that emerge from the interview responses, providing a comprehensive understanding of the understanding. And then the qualitative interview will allow for an in-depth exploration of the perceptions, experience and perspective of the stakeholder, which is in my case is a P2P online operator. Okay. So next will be ethical consideration. So as we know, conducting interview in a common research used to collect data from participants. So ethical consideration is conduct the interview can vary depending on the research context and the population being studied. So informed consent involve providing participant with information about the study, including its purpose, procedure, risk, and benefit, and obtaining their voluntary agreement to participate. Okay, all right. Okay, Prof. Tu je I sempat, Prof. Nanti I kena buat.
Hmm.
Saya kena buat lagi. Saya
Dah, dah, dah.
separuh.
Okay. Alright.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, Nur Hayati. So basically, we have listened to your presentation. It's clear. Um, okay, so I'm just like to inform the rest regarding about this for Pak Daruji and also Mr. Wan Muhammad Nasrul. Okay, the process of QT process of QT ni is actually compulsory lah for every PhD student. Okay, compulsory untuk every PhD student to pass for just like proposal defense. Okay, just like proposal defense, but we have to present our chapter 1, 2, and 3. So before you go to your QT, okay, you have to go for your colloquium. Okay, colloquium 1 and 2. Okay, and then ada 3
Three, if necessary.
Okay, if necessary. And then only you go for your QT. So basically every semester you need to present in the colloquium. All right. Okay. So all right. So I will open to everybody to ask question. First I would like to give the opportunity to Dr. Nurul Aini to maybe ask some questions to our candidates here. Or the others also. Okay.
Okay, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Okay, I already post some questions in our group lah and some comments. So I would like to know uh the P2P that we will focus on is on Islamic, right?
Um, s- uh, s- Sekarang ni dia tak, how to ask Prof. Masa mula-mula to conduct, supposedly macam nak fokus kat Islamic. But then the recent what I call that, the recent things that I know now, most of the P2P platform already dah sell dah product Islamic tu. So basically the Islamic part tu is only the product, not the platform dah. So macam kalau Prof tengok Fantastic ke, Cap Cash ke, non-basic yang apa what call that, conventional pun dah jual, dah ada produk Islamic product. So I have to at least lah, I have to buat macam if I want to conduct the interview tu more because total ada 11. So maybe I have to go up to 6 ke macam tu.
No, meaning the SIG is for Islamic lah.
No, it's just for the P2P platform operator je.
So if you focus on very general one, so I don't think you should mention about you should mention about the interest, element of interest, Islamic ontology, and so on, as you did that you want to put in, that you already put in your slide just now.
Oh, not
So
necessary.
because now you not focus on Islamic, right?
Dah, Nurul. Okay.
Ah.
Back to differ yang tu. Okay. I think ontologi tu bukan kepada tu. Ontologi tu dia punya research filosofi.
No. There is one part on Islamic just now.
The
Yelah,
Islam.
Haryati.
Alamak, terputus.
Putus tak dengar. Putus.
In the slide you have the Islamic content just now, right?
Islamic, sekejap, Prof. I share back lah, Prof. Sekejap.
At
Okay,
the end,
itu
the one
ontologi,
that you say
ontologi. Itu ontologi itu Nurul. Itu memang saya minta dia buat. Yang tu kita punya
for
untuk
Islam.
contoh. Ya? Tak, itu research philosophy.
This one,
Okay.
this one. Ke, Prof?
Ni research philosophy ni.
This one,
Falsafah.
is it this one?
Falsafah ni, falsafah.
Okay, if you do not study on Islamic, I
Uh-uh.
don't see the reason why you study this. Unless in the study the P2P, you also
Alamak, putus. You also?
the Islam P2P.
Oh, meaning, Prof?
Okay.
Macam,
Tak apa. Nanti kita discuss. Tapi yang Tuan Nurul kata tu, saya rasa dia misconception tentang benda ni. So, tak apa. Yang ni kita take note. Tapi basically, yang ni memang saya minta you masuk lah. So, what is your research philosophy? Okay. So, every PhD student kena ada research philosophy. Kena ada falsafah. Sebab tu dia panggil ijazah falsafah kedoktoran. So yang ni maksudnya perlu ada.
Dia tak ada okay if we have like the philosophy punya part. But
Yep.
now the study is not about the Islamic. If we do not focus on Islamic P2P, why we should have Islamic epistemology?
Tak, itu falsafah tu, falsafah. Itu falsafah.
Because I understand, Prof. The reason we put this one because there are still a gray area about what we call that in the P2P Islamic product itself.
Tak, Nurul. Saya rasa tak apalah, itu kita bincang kemudian. Sebab yang ni memang saya minta ni. Sebab dah berapa tahun kita bincang pasal ni. Tapi semua student saya, dia mesti buat ontologi dan epistemologi. Itu memang every student.
Saya tak ada masalah buat filosofi ni. As long as judge je lah.
Okay, itu. So filosofi tu, saya minta maaf Nurul. Untuk filosofi memang semua student saya memang ada.
Ada
Okay.
Islamic ke tak yang ni?
Tak, dia bukan dia ada Islamik, tidak. Dia punya filosofi dia sama ada contohnya kita ni kan. Filosofi kita bila kalau dia ambil positivism, okay, contoh kalau dia jumpa orang pakai interest, boleh. So falsafah dia tak ada Islamik. So dia akan kata, tak apalah, boleh je pakai riba. Boleh je riba. Sebab apa? Falsafah you mengatakan bahawa positivism. You dah ikut positivism. Tapi falsafah dia sebagai researcher, okay, ontologi dia, realiti dia tengok kepada kehidupan adalah untuk melihat dunia akhirat. So,
saya faham yang tu interpretivism dengan positivism tu. Okay, so now on P2P ni ada buat Islamik ke tak?
Buat
tak.
Islamik.
Betul.
Maksudnya kita detail on
Kalau dia tak buat pun, masa dia dah jumpa, contohnya dia
tak
punya...
apa, saya just nak tahu buat ke tak sebenarnya.
Dia sekarang ni, okay.
Buat ke tak tu maksudnya study more, maksud Prof, Prof, tanya.
Sampel kita ni ada yang melibatkan P2P Islamik lah maksudnya.
Ada, tu ada.
Okey, tak apa. Satu lagi, bila sebut equity tadi tak betul tadi sebab bila P2P ni dia tak kepada
ada sebut equity, dia lebih kepada itulah kot. Dia bukan equity yet.
Ada sebut ke equity kejap. So macam
Tak ada kan?
Equity tak ada sini.
Tidak, kalau yang Islamik dia kepada
Alamak, saya
tadi
tak
ada sebut
dengar.
tadi.
Putus.
Kat mana, Prof?
Tak,
Ah,
saya rasa masa you explain Islamic apa ni P2P tu ada guna musyarakah.
betul. Dia tak ada benda tu.
Ha,
Dia tak ada. Okey.
dia cuma
Jadi
dia boleh guna je musyarakah ataupun dia boleh guna tu tapi
This
kita
one.
yang so kebanyakannya dia gunakan murabahah je. Okay, yang ini
banyak betul.
dia banyak guna murabahah tapi tak apa. Yang ni dia orang boleh
Rasa
guna
nanti
mudarabah.
nanti
Ha,
nanti in detail tu Nur Hayati mungkin kena tengok structure di SC tu pakai apa.
Prof. Okay, Prof. Yang ini, yang syariah compliant ni, this one because this one is based on the paper. Maksudnya paper tu menerangkan syariah compliant tu boleh pakai few type of contracts lah. Tapi dekat Malaysia, kalau nak fokus kat Malaysia tu is more on mudarabah. Mudarabah.
murabahah.
Murabahah.
Murabahah
Sorry.
kan?
Murabahah.
So yang tu
Ah.
kena tengok in detail lah, maksudnya kalau tak dia akan pergi kepada equity crowdfunding.
Betul, betul.
Okay. Alright.
Tapi
Okey.
sekarang ni dia pakai P2P ni, dia open je. Kalau macamnya platform tu dah start pakai mudharabah ke musyarakah ke, so basically dia akan lebih menjurus lah kepada equity crowdfunding. Tapi dekat Malaysia ni majority murabahah lah.
Kakak rasa lah mudarabah masyarakat.
Tapi possible boleh pakai. Cuma dia akan jadi equity crowdfunding instead of murabahah crowdfunding lah. Tapi dia masih lagi apa ni lah P2P juga. Cuma kontrak yang diguna pakai je. Pakai mudharabah dan juga musyarakah. Which is good lah kalau pergi ke situ.
Prof.
Okey.
Okay.
Itu sajalah saya punya komen.
Okay, that's good. Very good. Thank you Dr. Nuraini. Okay, very good comment. Okay, cuma untuk my student yang lain Daruji dan juga
Okay, good luck
alright.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, for Daruji and also Muhammad Nasrul. Okay, untuk ontologi dan epistemologi, okay, semua kena buat lah bab tu. Okay, falsafah, doktor tu. Okay, any question from you guys?
Prof.
Ya.
Hello?
Ya, boleh dengar.
Betul.
Okay, terus.
Ini saya kena masukkan terus yang Islamic element tu semua ni awal-awal
Okay,
lagi.
tak. Okay, you okay, boleh dengar ke?
Boleh?
Okay. Ontologi dan epistemologi ni terpulang lah. You nak pakai Islamic worldview ke? You nak pakai capitalist view ke? You nak pakai socialist ke? Itu pulang kat you lah. Okay, tapi mesti ada falsafah dan juga epistemologi lah. Okay. So, yang tu you kena, you fikir sendirilah. You nak pakai apa? Okay. Kalau macam majority of my student, kebanyakannya sebab semuanya orang Islam, dia akan pakai Islamic worldview lah sebagai ontologi. How you see the reality lah. Macam tu. Sebab kalau you tengok, kalau contoh lah kan, simple je. Kalau you dalam finance, you tengok in term of capitalist ke apa, dia akan tengok return saja. Dia tak ada pun tengok kepada syariah ke, syariah compliant ke apa ke. So basically, this is how you see the world lah. Okay? Your worldview lah. Tapi tak semua pensyarah dekat sini yang guna ni, tapi saya je. Okay, saya memang saya bawa benda ni.
Added value lah.
Nak tulis dari Islamic so memang kira boleh pakai sekali.
Tak dengar lah ni Muhammad Nasrul.
Sorry Prof, saya macam tak sikit saya ni.
Okay, apa you cakap? Apa tu? Tak dengar.
Itu Prof, saya punya lain ni saya problem sikit lah.
Okay, you punya itu problem. Tapi you faham maksudnya untuk setiap PhD student di bawah seliaan saya, okay, semuanya ada ontologi dan epistemologi. Barulah pergi kepada research design, research metodologi dan sebagainya lah. Okay, sebab tu yang akan memberikan skop dia punya study tu. Yang Dr. Nuraini tu dia bukannya tu, sebab dia bukannya graduate daripada UK. Okay, UK graduate macam saya, kita memang tengok kepada ontologi dan epistemologi.
Dia punya filosofi itulah Prof kan?
Falsafah lah, sebab you ambil PhD. You ambil PhD
So,
kena ada falsafah.
maksudnya kalau kata dalam kes saya tu, walaupun produk tu adalah produk tu saja Islamik, tapi maksudnya kita boleh je kaitkan kita
Ya,
punya pendapat
falsafah you.
dari segi Islamik lah kan?
Betul, falsafah you. Daripada falsafah you tu. Falsafah you kata, okay, you nak tengok benda tu, credit risk tu, kalau kita jumpa contohnya, kita jumpa credit risk yang digunakan semuanya konvensional ke ataupun semuanya tak ni. So you boleh justify katakan bahawa okay, dia berdasarkan you punya falsafah, okay, so you boleh cadangkan, okay, ataupun you boleh berkata bahawa you perlu kita perlu ada Islamic P2P. Ya, ini dah guideline yang sepatutnya macam tu. Okay, lebih kepada normatif lah, bukannya positivism. Okay, lebih kepada normatif.
Okay.
Okay, normative economy. Okay, normative tu what should be. Okay, what should be. So kalau contohnya dalam Quran kata macam ni, kita ikut. So lainlah dengan kapitalis, dia akan ikut apa yang positivism dan sebagainya. Alright? So
kalau kata
tak apa, yang bab ontologi, epistemologi tu you still maintain. So kadang-kadang saya tak setuju dengan apa yang setengah-setengah pensyarah ni kan. Dia punya dia punya research background tu lain. Walaupun based on syariah, tapi research background dia tu lain. Dia tak pergi pada ontologi, epistemologi ni. Dia buat je research.
Oh, faham.
Sebab dia bukan belajar di overseas. Dia belajar di local. So memang semua local tak adalah filosofi, falsafah ni. Padahal kita PhD, philosophical doctor, philosophical doctorate. So mesti ada benda tu lah.
Faham.
Okay.
Okay, so kiranya kan Prof, kalau katalah later on bila saya dah conduct the interview, so the credit assessment ni, mesti kita melihat macam Prof kata kalau kita nak kaitkan Islamic ontologi tu, maksudnya kita mesti lihat dari segi credit assessment tu, kalau dari segi Islamic ni macam mana pula macam tu kan?
Okay, contoh kalau credit assessment dia kata okay, dia charge riba. Dia charge riba ataupun dia contoh lah yang simple, dia charge interest. So kalau you punya credit, you punya evaluation, you kata tak boleh lah charge interest. Contoh lah kan. Okay,
Sebab kalau ikutkan produk tu takut macam produk je Islamic, tapi yang belakang-belakang tu tak Islamic pun.
Mungkin. So you boleh kata. Okay. Sebab tu you kena letak tu falsafah you dulu. Cuba kalau you tak letak falsafah, so maksudnya dia cakap kalau betul-betul orang yang akan evaluate you tu, okay, dia based on saya rasa lebih kepada pure qualitative tu. So dia mungkin akan argue kenapa you pergi kepada normatif kan? Kenapa you nak kata dia charge interest salah?
Okay. So
Okay.
that one supportive by that one lah.
So you dah ada kata saya memang saya punya worldview, research worldview saya ialah Islamic worldview. So Islamic worldview memang based on Quran, Sunnah, Hadis, Quran, Hadis, ijma' dan qiyas kan. So basically itulah you punya locus of sources kan.
Okay. Dulu tanya tu juga kan.
Tak, yang tadi tu sebab Dr. Nuraini dia tak sama, dia tak banyak kali dia tak bincang dengan kita. So dia mungkin macam tu lah. So dia mungkin ada different point of view.
Different view.
Ha.
Okay.
Tapi kalau kita tahu macam tu senang je, dia tak masuk dalam kita punya supervision committee sebab alright, saya tahulah mana-mana orang yang tak sama dengan saya,
Tak
mungkin
align.
tak align dengan saya, mungkin tak boleh samalah dengan supervision committee tu. Sebab
Okay.
dia akan
Sebab tak ada
melarikan apa.
respon pun dekat dalam grup tu, saya pun macam confused. Ada ke tak ada grup ni? Macam, okay.
Yep. Okay.
Alright. Alright. So, flow dia okay ke Prof? Saya nanti
Flow
saya
okay.
update lah tu.
Okay.
Dia
So saya
memang
buka.
saya nak tanya, dia memang kena, memang macam kita memang kita present chapter 1, chapter 3 ni in detail ke Prof?
Tak. Okay, you buat sekarang ni, you dah cerita macam very detail lah. Macam
Saya macam nak
kelas.
buang
You buat,
sikit.
you dah buat macam kelas. So you have to to be
Part.
short and clear and concise.
Boleh
Okay,
lah Prof.
because
Saya,
memang 20 minutes. So tadi you dah ambil almost 40 minutes, double the time.
okay, sebab saya macam takut macam, saya macam confused. Kena present chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3 tu in detail, ataupun
Tak.
kita just present
You
yang kita rasa penting je.
Try buat 5. Cukup.
Okay, Prof nak tanya lagi. Maksudnya sekarang ni literature review ni, saya rasa macam cakap literature review ni bukan assessor tu dah baca ke? Macam tu.
Yelah, tapi you just highlight yang mana penting je tu je. Lepas tu lagi satu, okay, tadi you punya conception model tu, okay, just my comment lah. Ni but this one is afterwards lah, yang buka daripada tu. Okay, you kena masukkan, maksudnya kat mana yang you kata stakeholders theory, kat mana dekat agency theory, kat mana dekat apa tu, lagi 4 teori letak dia kan. So,
kat dalam bawah ni, dalam macam ni, macam antara ni dengan ni agency teori tu, macam tu?
Macam tu. So, macam contohnya, kalau contoh borrower, regulatory dengan juga technical advancement ni, okay, you buat dia satu bulatan yang putus tu, so itu adalah stakeholder theory, contoh.
Okay.
Lepas tu agency theory kat mana? Dekat antara platform dengan
Borrower
borrower.
dengan
Tu agency theory. Lepas tu untuk asymmetry information pun dekat situ. Kan? Antara
dekat
borrower
the
dan
same
juga
diagram ke ataupun diagram yang asing? Same diagram?
the same diagram.
Okay.
Masuk je. So basically dia nampak. Maksudnya the four theories tu memang ada kat sini. Tapi kalau tak ada, contohnya you tak boleh nak kaitkan, you just buang the theory tu.
Okay.
Okay? So lagi satu, okay, untuk try to make it short about 20 minutes kan. Kalau ni 40 minit tu yang jadi.
Saya macam confused. Masa saya buat pun saya rasa macam panjangnya macam.
Tak, 30 slide maksimum. Okay, satu slide 1 minit ataupun macam tu kan. Okay. So kalau you buat seminit pun 30 slide dah 30 minit. So basically 20 slide.
Okay, doktor macam contoh lah kan P2P tu kan. Karakter dia kan. Okay, ke saya macam terangkan aja apa P2P tu, macam mana dia punya mekanisme. Lepas tu terus je table ni tengok je lah sendiri dia punya beza tu. Tak payahlah satu-satu nak terangkan.
Tak payah satu-satu. You just explain, pump, go, next. So within 20 minutes sebab kita tak nak ambil masa panjang. Lagipun bila ambil masa panjang nanti macam-macam dia akan tanya.
Okay.
Okay, the goal is to lepas je. Nak lepas. Macam tadi kan bila you cerita banyak macam-macam, okay, nampak ontologi Islamik, lepas tu apa semua, nanti dia mulalah. Kalau yang bukannya school of thought yang sama, okay, contohnya kan, okay, dia bukan school of thought sama saya, so dia akan tanya you nanti.
Okay.
Mazhab lain. Contohnya. So dia macam tadi Dr. Nuraini mazhab lain. So
kalau dekat Dr. Raini tu macam slow remove lah Islamik tu lah.
No. Saya tak boleh nak itu you punya apa ni research worldview. So kalau you remove, kalau remove tu tak boleh. Itu mana bagi falsafah, doktor falsafah punya ni kan.
Macam master pula kan.
Tak ada doktor falsafah punya tu. So basically, you kalau nanti you nak masuk ayat Quran ke apa boleh, kan? Kan you nak masuk ayat Quran ke apa ke boleh. Sebab apa? Sebab ni ontologi you memang Islamic worldview. So basically, kalau dia Islamic worldview, epistemologinya ialah tentang how you acquire knowledge, kan? So knowledge can come from scientific and also from
Al-Quran.
Al-Quran,
Hadis.
hadis, ijma' qiyas. So basically sebab tu kita knowledge yang tu kita boleh gunakan sebagai kita punya hujah. Kalau you tak masukkan tu, so macam positivism ke ataupun socialism ke, so basically dia macam contohlah socialist lah ataupun socialist. Dia memang kata agama is just like candu. Okay? Agama is just like candu. Maksudnya people use religion so that they convert them. Macam tu je. So itu kalau lebih sosialis. Kalau kapitalis pula dia langsung tak kira dah. Okay, dia dah terus sekularism tu dia dah pisahkan terus agama. So basically that's why you have to put that in your research lah. In your study. So basically itu start. Kalau you tak nak present pun tak apa. Yang tu. Kan? Terus je pam. Because yang pentingnya benda tu ada. Okay?
Ada dalam tesis tapi tak perlu present untuk yang Selasa ni.
Ya.
Okey.
Okay. So sebab kalau saya masih lagi dalam proses lah. Tunggu saya
Jadi dekan.
Jadi dekan ke, tapi dekan saya tak nak. Saya nak jadi vice chancellor terus. Kan? Saya nak jadi vice chancellor, saya cakap okey semua fakulti. Kan? Kena ada.
Kalau Prof jadi vice chancellor, memang semua orang takutlah nak viva saya.
Aduh, itu tak ada lah. Itu kita sembang terbang je. Kan? Sembang terbang boleh lah kan. Sembang boleh. Okey, Pak Daruji ada apa-apa soalan? Pak Daruji.
Ya, Prof. Terima kasih. Saya karena di library mungkin sebentar aja.
Tak dengar. Kuat sikit Pak Daruji.
Di library.
Bila apa? Mak tak dengar.
Halo.
Ya, dengar.
Iya.
Ya.
Berkaitan dengan ontologi dan apa tadi?
Epistemologi.
Dengan epistemologi itu apakah kemudian depend on mind research atau up to researcher?
Up to researcher.
You punya ontologi tu up to you.
Okay.
Up to you. Because tapi kita bincang nanti. So contohnya you nak what is your ontology lah. So you ontology, how do you see the world? Okay? How do you see the world? Do you see the world finish at the world only ataupun you have the world and also the hereafter? Dunia dan akhirat, kan? Kalau you punya ontologi, you see reality of the world tu dunia akhirat dan Islamic worldview lah.
Misal kata kayak punya Miss Nur Haryati, misal kepake secular ontologi maybe.
Boleh?
Right?
Boleh.
Boleh pakai kapitalism lah.
Boleh lah.
Okay. I see. Thank you, Prof.
Dunia sahaja lah.
Dunia je lah.
Okay, Prof.
Tak salah, boleh je. Tapi as Prof said lah, we as a Muslim kan, so why don't we look at in Islamic view?
Okay. Thank you, Miss.
Alright. Okay, Prof.
So I think tak ada soalan lain tak ada. Kalau tak ada,
So far ni hanya Islamic ontologi ni semua dalam tesis saja. So masa present tu tak payahlah ya.
You boleh hide dia. Okay.
Hai,
So terus
okay.
je kepada apa ni. So
Saya
try to
rasa
make it
kalau orang macam lecturer tadi, dia terus je nak tahu research method saya apa. Betul tak, Prof? Nak pakai semi-structured, lepas tu macam mana nak conduct thematic analysis tu,
ya.
kan?
Siapa you punya examiner?
Saya letak hari tu lah. Dr. Nur Rashikin dengan saya letak
Dr.
orang yang
Nur
sama, yang kolegium kita
Rashikin.
tu.
Dr. siapa Nur Rashikin.
Finance yang cantik tu. Betul
Ainul
orang dia.
Ainul Ainul Rashikin.
Ainul Rashikin.
Dengan
Dengan
siapa? Ainul Rashikin dia faham, dia pernah jadi co-supervisor
ni
saya.
Dr. Nur Haziah.
Okey, dua-dua tu okey, tak ada masalah. Untuk ontologi, epistemologi dia tahu.
Tapi
Tapi Dr. Nuraini ni Dr.
dia kuantitatif.
So dia tahu yang maksudnya ontologi, epistemologi tu memang saya punya forte lah. Maksudnya saya memang nakkan student saya semua ada benda tu.
Okey, faham.
Okey. Tapi Dr. Nuraini mungkin tak lah kot dia. Betul tu, saya kita terdapat dia sebagai co-supervisor kan. So tak apalah, you just ni lah. Tapi better daripada dia jadi co daripada dia jadi external. Daripada examiner.
Faham.
Kan? So better dia jadi co daripada dia jadi
Sebenarnya ni berapa pemberat dia sebenarnya, Prof?
pemberat tu apa?
Maksudnya sebagai lecturer kan? Pemberat dia sebagai co-supervisor besar ke tak? Sebab macam bila
Besar
dalam
tu
group,
kalau dia nak naik
dalam
pangkat
group tu
pun
dia macam buat tak tahu je dah bertahun tadi tak pernah pun.
sepatutnya you kena boleh tanya, you boleh jumpa lah. Okay, you boleh jumpa. Okay, you take the initiative
Sebab
lah
bila sebab macam
to
dalam WhatsApp tu kan macam Prof dia yang interact. So macam dalam tu saya ingat, saya pun tak tahu orang tu wujud ke tidak. So saya macam
tak,
takut
kalau you rasa you tak nak lagi dia orang, so you boleh je drop.
Supervisor tu.
Boleh je drop kalau you rasa tak ada apa-apa kan. So you boleh je drop. It's up to you lah. It's up to you. Tapi kalau you nak pergi and then jumpa, dapatkan iman nasihat dia, okay, then okay. Sebenarnya Dr. Nuraini tu okay kan. Cuma yang tadi tu dia tak faham. So dia sebab dia tak jumpa kan. Dr. Junaida pun dia tak tahulah. Kalau you kena jumpa dia okay je. Cuma kalau kita rasa dia tak ada apa-apa tu, so bolehlah drop, pulang kat you. It's up to you lah. Saya okay je.
Oh ya, tak apalah, saya okey je, Prof. Asalkan dengan Prof, discuss dengan Prof, saya okey je, tak ada masalah. Sebab asalkan main supervisor okey je, Prof.
Yang penting main supervisor. Okay. Yang penting
Kan.
main supervisor. Kalau main supervisor kata apa ni boleh submit lah. Diorang tu cuma kita tanya pendapat je. So kalau boleh you jumpa lah. Jumpa, bincang ke ataupun dapatkan masa-masa yang macam ni lah. Sebab tu saya ajak diorang untuk datang. Kalau tidak tu diorang tiba-tiba je dah habis kan.
Free rider lah. Faham? Okey, tak apa, Prof. Nanti saya editkan.
Tapi saya pun silap juga. Patutnya saya kena ajak diorang datang masa you tengah bentang ke apa ke. So kita kena invite lah. Lepas ni boleh invite. You bila time meeting je you invite. Dia datang tak datang tu second matter. Kalau kita rasa dia tak datang, nanti saya cakap saya ni nak kena drop ni macam tu.
Faham.
Okay. Alright.
Okay.
So any other question? So I say okay, dah you punya presentation tu very good. Cuba try to make it 20 minutes.
Okay, so saya boleh je nak buang tu. Saya yang macam Dr. Fikir macam detailnya nak present chapter 1 sampai chapter 3. Saya rasa macam banyak nak kena tahu semua ke?
Tak.
So
20 minutes. 20.
So tak semestinya each of the subtopic tu kita kena present lah.
Tak semestinya. You ringkas je.
Okay. Faham?
Okay.
So not all subtopic. Saya dalam pemikiran saya takut macam setiap subtopic tu nak kena present ke? Tu yang macam.
Tak, yang ini kalau you bagi lecture ke boleh. Bagi
Kan?
lecture, okay. Tapi kalau untuk presentation for your QT and Viva pun sama, 20 minutes je.
So yang basically dia tak tengok betul-betul yang dia akan tangkap selalu apa? Dia punya research objective, research
Ah,
question,
Yup,
align
tu
tak dengan problem
ah,
statement tu?
problem statement, research objective, research question, lepas tu literature sikit, okay, lepas tu terus kepada metodologi.
Okay.
Aha.
Metodologi tu dia nak detail juga ke? Tak dah.
Metodologi beritahu ya, tadi you dah beritahu dia punya you punya kualitatif apa semua tu. Lepas tu macam mana you nak cari sampel 6 tu. So yang tu je. 6 ni siapa? Okay.
Okay, 6 tu operator. Lepas tu saya
Ah,
letak soalan yang saya nak semi-structured soalan tu.
semi structured question tu. Okay.
Yang saya akan nak tanya,
Ah,
refer to
ah,
objektif mana? Soalan-soalan ni refer to objektif mana?
ya,
Macam tu.
ya, betul.
Okay. Okay, faham Prof? Okay.
Okay.
Boleh
So
saya ringkaskan.
any other question tak?
Apa Bapak Dahruji ni buat apa? Dia punya field.
Tajuk saya Pak Daruji, sila cerita sedikit.
Ni kawan Bapak Torik ke? Bukan.
Ya, salam kenal Miss Haryati. Ya,
Salam kenal.
ya, saya punya tajuk itu berkaitan dengan the first behavior investor syariah investor stock in Indonesia.
The
Tapi
behavior?
di Indonesia. Tapi saya bincang dengan Prof. Radli. Prof. Radli mungkin nanti ada sedikit perubahan berkaitan dengan itu karena sudah ada yang meneliti, sudah ada yang meriset itu.
Oh,
Gitu.
ni SAM 1 lah ni ya?
Betul,
Sudah
SAM 1.
full time.
Full time.
Oh, full
Iya.
time cepat dah siap.
Amin. Iya.
Oke, sudah mau lain.
Nanti boleh saya chat Miss Haryati ya?
Boleh.
Oke.
Ni dia buat kuantitatif lah.
Discuss
Ke?
kuantitatif. Ya.
Oh, kuantitatif.
Discuss something or other ya. Oke.
Faham?
Oke. Oke, congratulations Miss Haryati.
Oh, tak. Sama-sama. Bapak Nadoji ni sebelum ni di mana? Sekarang ni cuti belajar lah.
Maksudnya dari Indonesia saya.
Dari Indonesia tu cuti belajar ke? Sekarang tengah ambil cuti belajar lah.
Ambil cuti belajar. Right.
Oh, okay.
Daripada universiti di tu Jawa Timur. Apa nama tu? Nama
Trunojoyo Madura University.
apa tu?
Trunojoyo Madura.
Oh, di Madura.
Miss Haryati know Madura?
Makan bakso Madura tahulah.
Oh.
Makan sate Madura tahu lah, bro.
Oh.
Tapi
Very
belum pernah
nice.
ke Madura.
nanti kita pergi sana.
Okay, kita buat ni buat conference ya.
Okay, buat conference, pergi ke Madura, pergi Jakarta, pergi itu yang apa tu ibu siapa nama tu Miftah tu. Ibu Miftah tu di Jember kan? Jember ke Jember?
Jember.
Jember. Itu di
From
Jawa Timur juga.
Universitas Muhammadiyah Jember itu.
Ya.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Miss Haryati lecture maybe?
Tapi sebenarnya lain bidang, tapi kita buat lain bidang.
Oh, lecture di USIM.
Tak. Saya bukan di SIM, saya di UiTM.
Oh. Ya.
Tapi dah boring lah dengan matematik tu yang ke ekonomi.
Oke.
Kualitatif lah tu. Kualitatif lah tu kan.
Kita buat dia.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
All
So
the
tak ada apa
best.
lagi ya?
Tak ada.
Okay,
Okay,
so
Prof, nanti saya ni saya buat
24 kan hari bulan kan?
Christmas Eve dia bagi kita.
Nah, 24 hari bulan pagi ke petang ah?
Petang 2:30.
Petang. Ya, betul. Pukul 3 ya.
Dua
Okay,
setengah.
so all the best for you.
Okay,
you.
thank you, Prof. Kalau saya lepas kan, Prof, saya nak try apply cuti belajar.
Boleh lah.
Petut sikit kalau saya dapat cuti belajar.
Hmm.
Kan? InsyaAllah. Okay, Prof.
InsyaAllah. Okay, Assalamualaikum.
Salam.
Salam. All the best, Nur Hayati.
Thank you.